What happens if the Milky Way and Andromeda collide? Are we safe or destroyed? Will humans survive the Andromeda collision? If Homo sapiens can stick it out on Earth for the next 2 billion years, then our descendants may witness quite a show in the night sky. Researchers evaluate that the Milky Way will collide with its nearest neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy, at around that time, well before the Sun collapses into a white dwarf and perhaps destroys the Earth in the process. The close encounter of the galactic kind could easily drive our solar system to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, and there's a slight chance we might even take up residence in Andromeda, as the words of astronomers Abraham Loeb and T. Cox of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics in Cambridge. Hey everyone, welcome back to Techverse. How you guys all doing? I hope you're all well. So today, I'm back with a new video on the collision of the Milky Way and Andromeda. Before starting, share the video with all your friends and subscribe to our channel. Also, please press that bell icon so you get the notification of all of our recent updates regularly. So let's begin. Firstly, let's see if I can give you a briefing about the Milky Way and then Andromeda. Do you think of the Milky Way as a luminous band across a dark night sky, or do you think of it as a giant spiral galaxy in space? Both are correct. Both refer to our home galaxy, or our local island in the vast ocean of the universe made of hundreds of billions of stars, where one of which is our sun. Long ago, it was possible for everybody in the world to see a dark and star-strewn sky when they looked heavenward at night, instead of the obscuring glow of city lights. In these past times, humans looked to the luminous sky and saw a ghostly band of light arcing across the heavens from the horizon to the horizon. This elegant arc of light moved across the sky with the seasons. The most casual sky watchers could notice that parts of the band are concealed by darkness, which we now know to be huge clouds of dust. Myths and legends grew up in different cultures around this mysterious spirit in the heavens. Each culture explained this band of light in the sky according to its own rituals. For the ancient Armenians, it was a straw spread across the sky by the god Vihan. In Eastern Asia, there was a silvery river of heaven. The Finns and Estonians saw it as the path of the birds. Both the Greeks and the Romans saw the luminous band as a river of milk. The Greek myth said it was milk from the bust of the goddess Hera, the divine wife of Zeus. The Romans saw the river of light as milk from their goddess as well. Thus, it was bequeathed the name by which today we knew that ghostly arc stretching as the Milky Way. The Andromeda Galaxy is also known as Andromeda Nebula, and it's a huge spiral galaxy in the constellation of Andromeda, the nearest large galaxy. The Andromeda Galaxy is one of the few visible to the unassisted eye, appearing as a milky blur. It is located almost 2,480,000 light-years away from Earth, and its diameter is approximately 200,000 light-years. It shares several characteristics with the Milky Way system. For centuries, astronomers considered the Andromeda Galaxy as a component of the Milky Way galaxy, that is a so-called spiral nebula, much like other luminous masses of gas within the local galactic system. Only in the 1920s did the American astronomer Edwin Powell Hubble determine conclusively that Andromeda was in fact a separate galaxy beyond the Milky Way. The Andromeda Galaxy has a past involving collisions with an accretion of other galaxies. Its peculiar close companion M32 shows a structure that indicates that it was formerly a normal, more huge galaxy that lost more of its outer parts and possibly all of its globular clusters to M31 in a past encounter. Deep surveys of the outer parts of the Andromeda Galaxy have revealed massive coherent structures of star streams and clouds with properties sharing that these include the outer remnants of smaller galaxies eaten by the giant central galaxy, as well as clouds as M31 stars emitted by the strong tidal forces of the collision. The pair simulated the collision by evaluating the relative speed between the two galaxies and the amount of gas and dark matter in the intervening space which exerts a drag on their motions. And Andromeda is currently 2.3 million light-years from our galaxy. Researchers know that the two neighbors are reaching each other at 120 kilometers per second, but they're far less certain of Andromeda's sideways speed. If moving fast enough to the side, it would miss us entirely. I think it's very likely that they will come together. The issue is, will it be in 3 billion years or 10 billion years? Taking their sign from the latest models of the galaxy structures, Cox and Loeb supposed a relatively small sideways motion. Based on this assumption, Andromeda would be the first to browse the Milky Way in 2 billion years from now, as a report in a paper yielded to the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society. The two galactic cores would orbit each other for the next 3 billion years before merging. During that time, the stars making up the two spiral galaxies would slowly merge into more elliptical combo galaxy, Milkymeda. Although most of the stars would be too barely spaced to bump together, one galaxy's gravity would hustle the other stars. The fate of the Sun, which is supposed to last at least until the simulated merger, would depend on where it was in its 24,000 light-year-wide orbits around the galactic core. The researchers evaluate that by the time the cores had fused, the solar system would have a 50% chance of being swept to a wispy tail, expanding from Milkymeda 3 times further out from the galactic center than it is now. Cox and Loeb also find a 3% chance of the Sun being nudged into orbit around Andromeda when the two galaxies first collide. They note that different assumptions for the simulation would result in different outcomes. But in spite of popular misconceptions to the contrary, as not everything in the universe is moving away from one another. The Earth is not expanding, for instance, and neither is the solar system. Whenever there's enough local gravity, big objects tend to merge rather than blow apart. And as it turns out, there's a lot of local gravity in our neck of the universe. Our Milky Way galaxy is the vice president of a collection of 50-some galaxies known as the local group, all of which are more or less in orbit around one another. Most of these galaxies are beneath our contempt, hundreds or even thousands of times less huge than our own, but there's another major player in the local group, the Andromeda Galaxy. And Andromeda and the Milky Way are the 500-pound gorillas of the local group, and even though we are all still about 2.5 million light-years away from one another, we are barreling toward one another at about roughly 270,000 miles per hour. Though it is hard to get a feel for speeds that fast, it's roughly Mach 400. It's harder than you think to say for certain that any two things are going to collide with one another in space. We are confined to the Earth, after all, which means that we only get 2D view of things, and Andromeda might veer sideways just enough to miss us at least in the first pass. Finally, we were not entirely sure that we were really on track for a head-on collision until last year when a team at the Space Telescope Science Institute used a combination of HST images and numerical evaluations and found that a collision was inevitable and due in only about 4 billion years. Or at least that's how long it'll take to get the party started. The resulting merger will take a few billion years more. Truth be told, while the actual timing of the collision might have been in doubt, the ultimate destiny of our two galaxies was not. The galaxies orbit around one another, they rip and tear at each other, falling, slyly losing energy and spiraling inward. It is only a matter of time until the two galaxies meet in a sweet and eternal embrace and ultimately settle down into a tedious routine. This is how we see united galaxies in other corners of the universe. While both the Andromeda and Milky Way are both adorable spiral galaxies, the resulting Milkymeda will be a colorless elliptical. We may not be destroyed physically by the process, but it is fair to say that the collision will destroy whatever sense of style our galaxy ever had. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed our video, and I hope that this video has proven to be very helpful for you. Make sure you let us know what you thought about in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to our channel to get more updates always. Thank you all, have a great day, and we appreciate you watching.